And I mean, it honestly got to the point where I, at the end of the day, was glad that he removed himself from the situation, because to be honest to God, no matter how bad the relationship would have gotten, I probably would never have fucking left. Like, that's how much I wanted my children to have a father figure, and I wanted them to have their dad in their life. And I was willing to do anything, like, pretty much. And it's like, okay, I had the proof already where he admitted to the situation, where he admitted that he hurt himself and all that stuff. And you're saying that we're both toxic, whatever. No, Gohan literally has mental health issues, guys. Like, he suffered from his own issues. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, I've talked to some of you guys about this, like, privately, about what his mental health issues are, and I don't want to go out there and expose him for that, because that was his own struggle, something that he had to deal with, and that was something that he was, I mean, he had to be admitted to a psych ward at one point in time for those issues. So why would you never admit to being physically abusive if you weren't abusive? Because I refuted it in the beginning. When I had conversations with Gohan before, and I told him that I never hit you and you hit yourself, or like whatever it was, it would be a situation where sometimes he would be able to recognize the situation and be like, oh yeah, you're right. You didn't do that to me. I'm, misremembering. And then his original abuser had done that to him, or like whatever. And he would always come up with like these outrageous stories where sometimes he would be like, oh, remember when, so-and-so hit me with that thing? And then I'd be like, you never told me that story. Like, it all has to do with his fucking mental health, which again, I don't want to get into too much, because I don't want to drag Gohan and like all that stuff. But I talked to his parents, and they know him better than anybody else, and they were literally saying, when Gohan gets like that, if you refute anything that he says, like, don't admit to it obviously, but if you refute anything that he says, he's just gonna like blow up. And obviously, if I'm trying to diffuse a situation, I'm gonna try to beat around the fucking bush. Like, yes, I do have fucking mental health issues now, because I have my own form of PTSD from the situation. Like, I've been going to counseling. I didn't hit myself. Gohan hit himself. I already took it to court, guys. What you don't understand is literally it was that easy. I could sit here and I could tell you every single little thing that Gohan did to me, but I'm not going to do that, because at the end of the day, I understand that there's a lot of things going on in his head right now. I already took it to court. I was able to file for abandonment like that. Even he's telling you guys the same thing that he was telling the judges and like the police officers here, whatever. With that information in hand and all the information that I gave him, I was able to get full custody of my children, no contact order, like all that stuff, based on how Gohan left me. I was able to file for abandonment and be divorced within 6 weeks. 아니, 그거 아니고요. 일단 제가 한국말 어떻게 설명해야 되는지 모르겠는데, 내가 가지고 있는 proof가 있어요. I don't know if anybody can help me explain the situation. 근데 그 내용이 있어요. 내가 이미 경찰서한테 가서 이미 그거한테 그 경찰한테 다 냈고, 이혼은 다 했고, 명진이가 애기들이 18살 때까지 못 보는 거예요. 그 정도 이 상황이 심하더라고요. Guys, you don't understand. Like I've said before, it's already been taken to the lawyers. I was waiting to make a video, I was trying to be amicable. I did not want to spread Gohan's mental health issues or like anything like that. I didn't want to say, but I have legal proof, legal documents of all the things, all the encounters, everything that has ever happened. Gohan is already, he's screwed himself. If he comes back into the States with the stuff that he's done, he's a criminal. He can't come back here anyways. I've already filed for divorce. It was done within 6 weeks due to abandonment. I don't know how I can really explain that to like people in Korean, but like, he waited until all that time to do this because yesterday I uploaded that video, or not video, I uploaded that picture of me on Instagram. And I don't know if it was him seeing me happy that I was like trying to move on or whatever with the situation that he hated, that he was just like, I'm going to tear you down because people are tearing me down from the situation. He wanted to bring us both down. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, you can genuinely tell that he doesn't give a damn about anybody else but himself. He's so stuck in his victim mentality that he doesn't care what happens to me. He doesn't care what happens to the kids. He doesn't care what is said. While I have been trying to keep the situation under wraps, even yesterday while I was explaining the situation, I was as nice as I could possibly be. I was literally just saying, we're not together, like things didn't work out, whatever. I wasn't gonna say any of this, but for him to go online, that's a lawsuit right there. That's fucking defamation, because I have proof of him admitting to doing things to himself. I've talked to mental health professionals. I've talked to the police. All of them have literally said he sounds so unstable. That's all it is. Can you clean up the burn story? He did it to himself. That's what you guys, like, you're saying that this doesn't make any sense and it's you can't understand it. I couldn't understand it for the longest time either. It doesn't make any sense. Like, talk about the 꼬대기 정말 아니에요. 명진이가 자신 스스로 했던 거예요. 칸 다음에 편지를 한번 썼는데 그 편지에서 자기가 자신한테 했다고요. 정신적으로 명진이가 문제가 있다고요. Why is Gohan's brother backing him up if he knows his family knows it's a mental problem? Because mental health is not really recognized as all that serious of an issue in Korea. And then he also was like, it's honestly, I don't want to get into like his family history or anything like that, but his family has a history of PTSD and abuse in their family, and so it's like one of those things where they're all used to it. When I talked to his mother about the situation, I was told to be a good little girl, and if I wanted to continue to be in a relationship with Myungjin, that I was going to cry a lot and that I was going to have to put up with a lot of bullshit, because a lot of the things that Gohan is doing to me right now, she can attest that her husband did to her as well. It's learned behaviors. He thinks this shit is normal. 이혼 이미 했어요. So you're saying he can't come back to the US, so him leaving the children thing seems forced? No, he got caught cheating and got hate. Then Soros abused him to get hate off of him. That's pretty much exactly what's like going on. But like, again, it's like the situation, he already admitted to it. He already said that he's the one who did it to himself. Like, I really don't have much else to say about that. Like, if I wanted to, I could come on here and I could post the proof was actually, at the end of the day, if he keeps like doing this, I'm gonna have like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, we're already divorced. There's a no contact order already put in place based on how he left us in the situation. Because if I were to go down that road and tell that story, like, it's unbelievable. But it's like he shot himself in the foot with that situation. I told him exactly what was going to happen legally after he had left, and he just didn't care. He was more so concerned with doing whatever he wanted to do. He wanted to be in Korea, living the high life, like making out, whatever, doing like all that stuff. And I didn't care. I was like, okay, do whatever you want to do, live your life, but leave me and the kids out of this so we can go on and live our lives and do what we need to do. And the fact that he's like, oh, well, my name's being dragged, so I'm going to drag you too, to me is ridiculous.